How much does a cheerleader make? How much were you getting paid, and how many hours would you say you were working?
We were putting in so many hours, at least 12 hours a week, all the way up to 20. We were expected to do a certain amount of appearances, which we fully knew going into, but there is so much time and dedication that's put into this. And, we were told in the beginning that, we were not going to be compensated, but it was later that we realized that contract that we signed was actually illegal.
And Denitha, what were you paid? And ultimately, how did you pay your bills if you didn't make enough?
Yes, well, I was a student for my first season, and in my second season, I was working full-time. And what I recall, we were paid $100 per appearance and $150 per game. And we did have a certain number of appearances that we had to do per season, which were mostly all compensated unless it was a charity event, which we were made aware of when we signed up. And the number of hours, it's practice, it's games, and then there's also workouts that you have to do outside of it and making sure that you are ready for the game. So that looks like getting together with other girls and practicing the dances and routines and making sure you're ready for any interviews. So it was a lot of time.
Would you say you made minimum wage at this job?
Absolutely. I had to work full time in order to cover the bills. It wasn't something that would pay for my rent or my living expenses. And they do make that clear. I want to go back to the other question. We did know what we were signing up for, but like anything that you sign up for, you don't necessarily know all of the specifics until you are a part of the organization, really see how much time really goes into making sure that you are ready for each game and each appearance.
Alyssa, from what it sounds like, you weren't paid enough to live on, but it required so much time to be there. How were you able to juggle, or the other girls juggle having multiple jobs or being able to make practices and workouts and games and be able to pay your bills?
It was very tough. And, I want people to know that, this was not all we did. I mean, these girls are educated individuals, have degrees, are going to college, have full-time jobs. I mean, these are a group of very wonderful girls. And, we knew going in, into this that we weren't going to be compensated. So we didn't expect that. But this all goes back to the fact that, we should have been compensated for our time. I mean, this contract that we were given, was not legal and was not right. And I feel like, this compensation is well deserved by these girls.
They work very, very hard. They're very dedicated at what they do. And in our state, you have to remember the Indianapolis experience is governed by the law of Indiana, where the Jill's experience is governed by the law of New York. And we have very definitive minimum standards of employment that this contract severely violated. And the basis of the suit are those legal violations of our law in our state. And it's clearly spelled out in our complaint. And we hope to have that corrected. And in fact, we have received an announcement today that the management company is stopping its operation, which is a very good thing. We see. We want the Jills to continue in a lawful and respectful capacity, but we think it's a good thing to have this particular outfit cease its operation because it was not proper and not up to the standards of the NFL and the epitome of this level of organization. So we hope that the claim will bring forth the change that needs to be brought, and that in the future the Jills will prosper and will be a tremendous marketing outreach of the Buffalo Bills organization. Yes. Because, in Western New York, we love our Bills. We're fanatics. and both Alyssa and I are Bill's crazy, so we welcome the fact that the Slipshod organization has stopped, and that hopefully the Jills will be revitalized